Named for its location on the Earth's equator, the South American country of Ecuador not only straddles the northern and southern hemisphere, but also the remains of an ancient past and the modern world. Dating back thousands of years, the highlands of Ecuador still maintain many cultural and culinary traditions of its pre-Hispanic past. And the infusion with the Spanish colonial influence is still on full display in places like the country's capital city of Quito. Join me as I meet up with local chefs and explore the unique cuisine that this region of Ecuador has to offer. From Quito in the Andes Mountains for a spectacular taste of history. Wow, spectacular. The cuisine of Ecuador is extremely diverse and changes dramatically depending on where you are in the country. Coastal provinces like Manabí are dominated by the fresh seafood as well as peanut-based dishes like biche. In the port city of Guayaquil, the rivers flow with native fish and crab, making dishes like encebollado unparalleled in the region. But for this show, we are high up in the Andes Mountains, where the cuisine here finds its roots from a mixture of indigenous and Spanish ancestors, who cultivated this rich volcanic soil for millennia. Tucked away on the plateau of those vast highlands is Ecuador's capital city of Quito. Sitting at an average elevation of 9,200 feet above sea level, this place will literally take your breath away. I already feel at home in the city, which is one of the oldest in all of Latin America. Let's meet up with my friend Chef Sebastian to discover more about the food of this unique region of the world.
Chef, welcome. It's an honor to have you here in Quito, especially in this strategical place called El Panecillo, which is the Spanish translation of a small bread because of its shape. But in Quechua, it's named Xungo Loma, which is the mountain from the inside, the hard mountain. It's the only place where you can see the whole city, a 360 view. Ecuadorian gastronomy comes from its people, from our geography, from our biodiversity. It's a reflection of who we are, like a mirror to our culture.
So, Chef, let's go try out a true taste of history.
Let's see how it goes.
I tell you what, the flavors that come out of this little kitchen here drove me right over here.
This is how a cook should learn how to cook, eating.
Yeah.
It's special to notice that in Quito, water boils at different temperatures. It's 92, 93 Celsius because of the altitude.
Amazing.
So cooking is quite different. She has this small kiosco where she cooks seco de pollo. The chicken goes making the broth. She starts adding mirepoix, these aromatics.
Yeah.
Raw potatoes that get cooked inside, green beans, cilantro leaves, salt, pepper, cumin, and raw sugar. All those together.
Look at it, beautiful. The chicken is so fresh.
500 years ago, we got cattle, we got chicken, and we incorporated that into our gastronomy. And most of it, we became the pantry of Europe. So street food for me is this mixture of the heritage we've got, generation through generation, and how we've been kind of sculpting the flavors, the profiles of flavor, to put them all together until we got one recipe that makes us proud.
It's beautiful. And again, showcases using the local products, freshly cooked, and taking away business from your restaurant, chef.
Here you have these cevichocho, cevi from ceviche, like the juice. You can see the red tomato juice and onions. Then chocho is the Quechua word of this lupi bean that's loaded of iron. It's one of the most important foods in the diet of native people here.
Chef, how beautiful it is. Look at it.
The most important thing for me is this roasted corn. This is called chulpi. Since it's a smaller grain, you have more taste. And it's just cooked inside pork fat. Fat.
Now you're giving away the secret.
Good, yeah.
It's always better with pork fat, you know?
Yeah.
God, it is beautiful. That's why.
Put the lemon over and let the citric do its work.
Here, look at that, chef. I got a spoonful.
That's the way. Yeah, all the ingredients.
You know what? The flavors are all in harmony. It comes together.
Exactly.
And it's such freshness and
Tenderness.
you know what it is? It feels good.
Good. Thank you.
It's a feel-good food.
Nice,
really
amazing.
beautiful.
Plantains is the garnish of the cevichocho. I think this shows the geography. Ecuador is a place where you can have breakfast on the Pacific Ocean, then you can have lunch on the Andes, then you can have dinner in the Amazonas. It's small, it's narrow, so you can have fresh ingredients from the coastline almost every day.
Chef, give it up. I know you didn't make it, but you supervised it.
We're going to close this tasting with this colada. Colada is the word of a thick drink, as you can see. It comes from mazamorra, which is the ancestral beverage that indigenous used to drink. It was made with this black or purple corn flour. We are using an Andean berry called mortiño, which is an Andean fruit. Together with some strawberries or blackberries if you want to, you just cook them in a syrup. Then you put the black corn flour inside and some spices and herbs, around 17 or 18 herbs. You let it rest and then you serve it and you drink it hot. It's like pudding taste drink.
It has so many, you can tell there's so many, it's difficult to analyze each flavor. It's just so many of them.
Exactly. And the normal garnish of this one is this deep fried empanada. It's called a wind empanada because the dough puffs inside the pork fat. You have farm cheese, fresh cheese, and you can dip it inside the colada and you have it.
Chef, great recommendation.
Good.
Just to get with that, it's just again.
Yes, this is savory, this is sweet. In Spanish, there's a word called lampreado, when you mix sweet and savory all together in the
Beautiful.
pork. Lampreado, yeah.
And so much flavor, and you know what it is? So much love. The people have a lot of love in their work, and you can tell. So that's got to be one spot. If I ever come back again, guess where I'm going to be? Right here.
The old town of Quito is known for being one of the best preserved colonial towns in all of Latin America. In 1978, this area was designated as the very first city to be named a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Quito is a city with 3 million people. It's a city where you can see the old and the new all together, the ancestral and the modern, the combination of the people coming from countryside and the city people. Houses holding in the mountains, construction that is absurd, if you want, that is defying the laws of gravity.
Much of the city's history today reflects the Spanish colonial period, with bustling center plazas and storefronts that have been virtually unaltered for centuries, as well as hundreds of masterfully constructed religious monuments, like the beautifully gilded Church of La Compañía. However, thousands of years before the arrival of the Spanish, it was the indigenous Quito people that named this city what it is today, for its location at the middle of the earth.
Many times people ask me why this city was built in the middle of the Andes instead of going down to a valley next to a river. The Quitos, they didn't choose the place. The place was already given by the star's position. They were astronomists, so whatever the location was calculated to be in the middle of the earth, that was going to be the central sacred city of Quito.
I'm standing on the equator, the line that divides the southern or northern hemisphere, and the country of Ecuador is named after.
The Inca Empire conquered the kingdom of Quito during the 1400s, and while their reign lasted less than a century, their impact was tremendous. As masterful engineers, they created a complex infrastructure of roads and bridges. When the Spanish took control of Quito in the 1530s, the foundation of the city, still seen today, was built on the remains of this highly sophisticated Incan foundation.
The mixture, the fusion of Incas, non-Incas, Spanish, that is the mingle of the whole society of Ecuador, and of course Quito is the best representation of that.
Quito's first market is loaded of culture, loaded of history, loaded of traditions and ancestral or millennial practices. For me, the most important things about markets is that they're like time machines. It doesn't matter if you're in the 21st century, you get into a market and then you travel in time. You just see the same ingredients, the same knowledge, the same language, the same practices, the flavors. It's like a journey. Welcome to the first market in Quito, first market in the city. This is San Francisco's market from the 1820s, more or less. It was a plaza before, of course now it's a building, but it holds its own heritage and mystic and traditions and customs.
You maintain the philosophy of fresh and wholesome.
And also, not only the freshness and the quality of the ingredient, but the knowledge of the people behind those ingredients. And another advantage I find here in markets is that you can find maybe one common ingredient, for example, cabbage, but you can see 4 or 5 types of different cabbages. What passions me the more is the Andean tubers, the Andean region, the Andean diversity. Yeah. Here in Ecuador nowadays we use around 200 types of potatoes. We can use them in many ways. We're in the food court of the market, and you will get to try a couple of traditional recipes, especially involving the offal of the animal.
Tell me, I'm interested in the potato.
That's achiote and boiled potato mashed into a puree and then pan-seared. That's called yapingacho. The texture of the corn is quite special. It drowned the mote inside the offal stew, which is called menudo.
I've never met a sausage I didn't like.
Good.
I'm from Germany, so you know.
You like
but
it.
it's a unique flavor because there's a sweet on it. Chile and the menudo. Very good. So what we got here, chef?
All right. If you talk about Ecuadorian gastronomy or highlands gastronomy in Quito, especially, and you don't mention frittata, it's almost incomplete. It's raw pork chopped in raw pieces, boiled in this big, huge pan called paila. They begin to cook it with garlic, onions, salt, pepper, cumin, and water. Then you boil it and you let the garlic and the onions
How long?
long, 8 horas, 6 horas, 8 hours. At one point, the water evaporates completely and all the fat of the pork...
It's on the bottom.
Exactly. So they put the fire up and the pork starts deep frying itself in its own fat. And the local seasonings. We are experts on this long time cooking.
Unique flavor to it.
Yes, then you separate all the elements. You have the fat, and this is all the souk. We call it mapahuira, which for me is the Ecuadorian foie gras. So fatty and tasty at the same time.
That's what makes the beautiful empanada dough. It's fantastic. I mean, I would come here to eat every day.
The cowboys, or the horsemen of this region, the Chagras, they are born from the mixture of two cultures. The syncretism between the Spanish and also the indigenous cosmovisions. The Chagras were the most trusted and loyal members of the haciendas, and they are in charge of the cattle and in charge of the agriculture. The sense of riding horses on open terrains, on vast plateaus, listening to nothing but the wind around you and the breath of your horse is something marvelous. The volcanoes, they have a spirit within, they have interactions with the people that lives around them. We depend and we live from the volcanoes.
Cotopaxi is located just south of Quito and is one of the tallest active volcanoes in the world. While you certainly can miss its beauty when you are in the region, the volcanic activity underneath its surface is a hidden gem of nature that helps create a naturally carbonated water called Quito that has become a staple of Ecuadorian lifestyle. Let's go check it out.
Nuestra compañía inicia a finales del año de 1800. Esto era una hacienda que pertenecía a la señora Eugenia Klinger, quien se da cuenta de que en sus tierras había un afloramiento de agua. Y se llevó a hacer unos análisis en donde descubrió que el agua como tal era un agua burbujeante. Los análisis revelaron que era una agua muy buena para la salud y decidieron empezar a fabricar de manera artesanal y se las distribuía en las boticas, únicamente como agua medicinal.
Snow melts from the mountainous peak of the Cotopaxi volcano and flows through subterranean passages. The natural carbon dioxide allows the water to pick up a vast amount of minerals that give a unique flavor and health benefit. The water's long journey finally ends up at Teselia Spring Fountains in Machachi, Ecuador.
Wittig es un milagro de la naturaleza. La concentración de minerales hace que afloramiento natural de agua con gas. Esa es la fuerza natural con la que emerge el agua desde el interior de la tierra. Ese es el recorrido que realiza nuestra agua para llegar a todos los ecuatorianos.
Would you believe there is no pump, there is nothing mechanical, it's naturally pressure from the ground that brings this water up to the top.
A partir de 1909 empieza a industrializarse, a comprar parte de maquinaria para industrializar ya la bebida y poder expandir el mercado. Y desde ahí hasta acá son más de 100 años de trayectoria que gozamos de Wittig.
Oh my gosh, look at all that. This is how it comes out of the ground, naturally. Wow, great flavor, so delicious. If you ever had a chance to experience this water, you would see the difference between natural carbonation, which we have here, or artificial carbonation. This is smoother, it is almost sweeter, and it's just very pleasant. Quito, in my opinion, is the finest water to go in any meal, because it's so flavorful, it's so different, and it's so clean. It's actually will clean your palate every time you take a sip. Oh, I cannot get enough of it. I'm stopping in the beautiful Casa Gengotena in downtown Quito to try some of Ecuador's traditional ice cream. Andre,
Welcome to Quito.
so great to meet you. Tell me about your history.
We have an ice cream shop which comes from my family, and we made ice cream around 160 years ago. Here's David. He's going to show us how to make the traditional ice cream. First, we are going to put the ice in these copper bowls. We bring the ice from the mountain, from Pichincha mountain.
I can't believe how much work this was, schlepping the ice all the way down from the mountains.
And now we are going to put salt. Also, this kind of salt comes from a mountain 5 kilometers from here.
So you're having Ecuadorian ice with Ecuadorian salt,
Salt,
made by an Ecuadorian chef, an Ecuadorian owner.
Everything is Ecuadorian.
and except me. Those pots, how old?
70 years old.
Almost as old as me.
No, you're young.
And now some water.
Yeah. Any liquid you can make ice cream with this technique. Those are raspberries, which comes from Andes valleys.
There's nothing else but the raspberry in it.
A small portion of water and sugar. No, regular sugar. Everything is natural. In around 5 minutes, we're going to have ice cream.
Like it was done many, many, many years ago.
Look, it's frozen right now.
Yeah, I see it,
no?
yeah. So normally, what's it, about 5 minutes?
Yeah, 1 liter, 5 minutes.
What he's doing right now, he's shaving off the side. So now he's incorporating the liquid to the rest of the ice. Mix it up good. And there you go. In real time, 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who needs technology when we
Yeah.
have him?
Yeah.
David, right? And you. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a real classic sorbet made in an old-fashioned way. So it's just beautiful. David, muchas gracias. Usted hace muy bien.
Buen brazo.
He needs a raise. Oh. So, Chef, you made me taste a whole variety of foods I have never tasted before. It's so cool to be in your, I call it studio, atelier.
Oh, thank you very much. We are in Quito. We named the restaurant after the meaning of it, its location, center of the planet. We're focused 100% in local sourced ingredients, 100% local and ancestral. Today, you're cooking guinea pig. It's a beautiful guinea pig, organic, raised, chamomile fed. And we just go traditional with them because they're so good in quality. They just need a little heat and a little seasoning to be roasted properly. We can use the scissors so we can open it in the middle.
Sure.
What we need to do here is just to crack the conjunctions. The ribs and the conjunctions, exactly.
It's like a
Beautiful.
chicken, as usual.
Yeah.
Take the inside.
Yeah, the insides will work for us for making pate. We're trimming the edges if you like to.
Okay, and the seasoning goes.
Salt, pepper, and cumin, as almost everything in traditional Ecuadorian cuisine.
Cumin, my favorite.
Little bit of leek.
Like so or finer?
That's perfect. I should be asking you.
No, but I want to.
Okay, that's
I want
enough,
to say.
Chef.
I want to say I got my hands into it.
Good, that's enough. We'll put it inside as it would be a roasted chicken.
And then comes the.
Herbs.
Oh, golly!
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, they're just
And
picked up.
I just saw them.
Yeah.
When you say-
Achiote. Achiote is a seed of a fruit. We have many types here. It colors the
Yep.
meat. So we're ready. Now we'll begin to prepare the tray because the wood oven, the floor of the oven holds all the temperature. So we rather burn the leeks instead of just burning the guinea pig. Fresh chicha all over the clay. So the steam will go up and then
The glaze.
reduce chicha to improve in the skin's caramelization. Just to close it, we're going to put these fine herb salt. It's important to notice that we are not roasting these at high temperature.
Got you.
We're doing this at mild temperature, enough time as a roasted chicken.
So-
30 to 40 minutes.
So basically, it's ready to go in the oven.
It's ready.
Oh, look at
Alright.
it. Let me look. Actually, no, it's 475.
475, a little bit more.
How much do you want it to be?
It should be around 280,
just
280 to 3.
Beautiful.
We're using avocado wood that also behaves different from other
Different.
woods.
Oh, yeah.
You have the smell, you have the smokiness,
Got this already. but
you
I
have the
just
taste.
I just opened the door. It's beautiful. Here we go. Perfect.
Look at that beauty.
It is. What a good flavor.
All right, we'll go here. Then I need to make a small reduction of the juices. Guinea pig chicha sauce.
Yep.
A bit of leeks. Take advantage of a little bit of the liver. We ask ourselves why, and we don't ask ourselves why not.
Yeah, of course.
I think this is the moment. Go for the leg.
Just one piece. Beautiful. There you go. Yeah, you got it.
All right,
Yep.
and a little bit of butter in the sauce out of the fire. Chicha glazed roasted guinea pig.
Beautiful.
We just let the sauce go wherever she wants to.
Spectacular. It's the only word I can tell you. It really is beautiful. Look at the flavor. Oh, I've never had it before. First time ever, but it's beautiful.
Chef, it's been an honor hosting you.
Give it up.
Thank you
It's
very
really
much.
beautiful. What an experience the whole day has been, but this is really a highlight. Working with chef, you've got it together. It's beautiful, nice presentation. All that for a taste of history.